Good people, we live.
Fam was good.
What number is this?
I don't even know.
Podcast. It's after 20, so I'm assuming 21. It might
Podcast,
be 22.
the one you're watching right now.
That part.
Period.
Shout out to the sponsors, thedrumcoaches.com, where this is the last week that you can sign up for a lifetime membership.
Man.
We will be going back to monthly subscriptions and also adding in yearly subscriptions. So you need to go ahead and if you're trying to get on board before that happens next week.
I mean, listen, we've kind of been going back and forth debating on this whole live lesson situation, man. What y'all think? Y'all want some live?
Should we add live lessons to
live
the
lessons
website?
on the website? That's something we're thinking about.
We're thinking about it. But in the process of thinking about it, understand we are going back to subscription. How do you say that? Subscription base.
There you go.
Website. Some people has asked for it, so
have asked for it.
Have asked.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there.
Download the app. All links are in the description box.
Period.
And if
real quick, I got to say with the app, if you're using iPhone and you're experiencing some technical difficulties right now, we are working on it for sure. We don't know exactly what happened. It looks like the Android users aren't having any issue with the update, but for our Apple users, listen, we got y'all. And for anyone who has been a paid subscriber, I emailed you by the time you're watching this video, yesterday. So please check your email. And yeah.
For any Android users out there who don't have the app and there is no technical difficulties,
there's not.
Yeah, cut the shift. Okay, I said shift. I didn't say.
I'm like, what is happening?
I didn't say
right now.
Shift.
Okay.
Shift. Y'all heard me. Cut the shift. And get the app. It's free.
Listen, even if you're an iPhone user,
cut the shift. And get that. I ain't editing it out either.
Listen,
ain't no bleep, ain't no.
And I forgot to bring the laptop, so I don't have any drops because they would have been a perfect time. It would have been a perfect time. Listen, I apologize because I know you guys missing the drops right now. Regardless of what you say, we know they missing the drops.
Right along. All links are in the description box. So
period.
Don't ask us.
Semicolon exclamation mark.
Y'all read the title, man. Choosing gear. I got a few DMs. I don't have my phone on me, so
it's all good.
Can't shout anybody out.
Paraphrase, my brother.
Some people asking what kind of gear they should buy. Some people were asking what I think about certain drum gear, certain drum items. And let's start with you. When you was coming up playing drums, did you choose your gear or was your gear chosen for you? My gear was chosen for me because I started when I was 3. But I wasn't good until – I'm still not good today, but –
that part.
I consider myself consider myself starting when I was 20 because that 3 to 20 was god awful. But go ahead.
Yeah, so when I started playing drums, man, I didn't have a drum set. It was I just watched the drummer that was playing at church, and every now and then I get to go hit on it. And that was a Gretsch kit. It was this red wine colored Gretsch kit where all the toms sounded very similar. Tuned super dead. Yeah. I remember when they brought the Rototoms actually out back in the day, Brody. Like, we thought we was in there when we seen the Rototoms, Brody. Like, oh my God, we got 6 toms now.
But toms too. I grew up Baptist. You weren't allowed to play toms. Go ahead.
Yep. And whenever, like, if the cymbal broke at the church, we used the top of hi-hat. We're not gonna talk about it. But anyway,
wow.
When I first got my own drum kit, my pops bought me one. It was like for Christmas, man. He bought a kit from Sam's Club for sure. And I think that when you're starting out, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You don't need to go spend not even a bass kit starts at like $500, $600 now with no hardware, no cymbals, just the drums, right?
You can find some cheap ones for $300, but if you want
no out the store,
like sound percussion. There's
okay, they
$250.
Okay, they sell those at Guitar Center.
GC, yes sir. And they got the one where they have 2 rack toms now. So yeah. You
wow.
get it $200-$300.
Listen, there's a lot more options now than it was when I was coming up.
And with Craigslist and
we had, we wasn't at Walmart or we got ours at Sam's Club, and it was a cheap kit, man. I played that kit till it was gone. Like I didn't know anything about changing drum heads. The clutch on a hi-hat never worked, or I just never knew how to use it. And when the snare head busted after playing on it for a couple years.
Pause. You played on the busted snare head, or you played on it for a couple years and then busted the snare head?
I played on it for a couple years and then busted the snare head. And after the snare head busted, I turned the drum over and play the other side.
Don't you ever play the don't do that.
I didn't know any better. I didn't have
I've been in a couple churches where they done beat the top head on the toms and then flip over the tom and beat the bottom head like, bro, no.
Absolutely.
No. Get you some drum heads that don't dent.
Brody.
The thicker the better.
After I broke the when the bottom head broke, I took the floor tom and put newspaper on top of it and acted like it was my snare, bro. Like, this is what I did. I didn't have no other choice. I didn't know anything about changing drum heads. I thought once you break a drum head, the drum is broke. The whole thing is done. I didn't know. And
I regret even asking you to tell your story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward the story at this
It's facts, bro. Well, let me listen. No, once
I'm going to say, when did you get your ear to
first time I bought a decent kit? I still have the kit. I was probably about 13 years old, 14 years old. I got a kit out the newspaper, man. It was $900. It was $850 kit, but it was an 8-piece Yamaha. I have, 6 toms on that joint, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 18. A 22-inch kick drum, but it wasn't like long. It was kind of shallow.
22 by 18.
Yeah, and then it was and it came with 3 cymbals, 2 crashes, and a ride. I still have that pasty 22-inch power ride. That joint is it's indestructible. You can throw it off the Empire State Building, and it will be whole when it hits the ground. I promise you. But at the end of the day, that's what I had. And so I never really bought drums based on looking for a sound because when I was younger, because all I wanted was drums. Like, if I could just have drums, I just want to play drums. And so what it taught me, though, was how to take any drum kit, use drum heads and tuning to actually create the sound that you're looking for. Because most kits can sound good. You know what I mean? Like, we have all of the different brands, have all of the different lines and all of the different whatever. Bro, I've been in the studio with some lower end kits and they sound great.
I would say I agree there. My first kits were given to me, basically. And then as I got older, the difference for me was I started buying my own kits. I never bought anything new. So, well, no, that's a lie. I have 2 kits that were from the manufacturer, like bought it online and they sent it to me.
Yeah, I've never,
but
not one time ever in life.
All my other kicks all my other drum sets are Craigslist or from the app Let Go. Of course, I go check out the kit to make sure it has all the pieces to it. But if you have the right drum head and you know how to tune, that part is fine. Cymbals wise, I did play with cracked cymbals, but then I learned how to stack cracked cymbals. You try your best. If your cymbal's cracked, replace it, because it starts to sound irritating to drummers. I mean, you can hear that like, oh, this cymbal is chewed up.
For sure.
The B8s is what I started with. At the time when I had it, I thought it was dope because it was the only cymbal I heard.
Right.
Until I got my first.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. B8s are some of the worst sounding cymbals in life. They sound terrible. Like, I'm sorry, Sabian. Them cymbals is trash, yo. Like, pure garbage.
Well, it's not just Sabian. All lines.
Like the ZXTs.
From Zildjian.
ZHTs.
Spicy got the
worst. Do you remember when you had them like 12-inch hi-hats? They're like 13s, right?
No, they was 10.
They were terrible. The worst.
When I heard the A Custom Fast Crash, that's when I got exposed.
Listen, if you have B8s, if you have all of the,
upgrade to Sabian Evolution if you got
and don't even sell the other ones and put those back in the world. Don't recycle them. Put them in the trash, bro. Melt them joints down and turn it into something else.
Those are metal cymbals, bro. I mean, if you're playing metal music, it works. But if you're not,
bro, there's metal drummers that play with quality cymbals.
He said
now, I'll say this though, because if we're trying to help them decide what type of gear they should buy or when to buy gear, it's all super dependent on the genre that you're playing, what your goal is. You're going for a sound. But most drum kits can get you there if you can tune and if you have decent drum heads, because you won't even know the sound that your drum can get until you start experimenting with drum heads. I know you've been doing that a lot recently, right? Talk about that.
Well, I've been experimenting. I would just tune. I'll do things like tune really, really tight and then record it, and then tune really, really loose and record it, or tune with 10 turns each lug and record it. It's all testing. You just test it. That's what you have to do. And you play it more than once. So let's say you tune your toms really low. Play it on like 2 or 3 gigs. Watch some video back. Hopefully, hopefully you have mics on the toms and they can record the session live, whatever the concert live, or get into the studio and record it and listen to it. In your experimentation. Don't just try it once and move along.
Right.
We do have tuning lessons on the drumcoaches.com. I don't know if you guys know, but that's one of our sponsors. So go ahead and sign up for the drumcoaches.com. I teach how to tune snares and all toms. So yeah, it's experimentation. Like crank a lug. Just crank it for the heck of it and play it.
And after you've gotten everything you can out of that drum head, change the drum head. Not to a new version of the same drum head, but to a different drum head and see what it sounds like. And then also, if you watch videos, because there's a ton of those online, of drummers who play different styles, you can actually see the drum head that they're playing. You can tell if someone's playing a coated drum head. You can see if they're playing it clear. Half the time when the camera zooms in, you can see the name of the drum head, and you could try it. Now, all of these things cost money, but it's actually cheaper than going to buy a whole brand new kit because you think that this kit can't give you the sound that you're looking for.
Yeah, just get the drum heads. Keep the same kits you got. Change the drum heads.
Right. So keep it 100 with you guys. When you see your favorite drummers on stage playing pop gigs with the most expensive kit in the world, it's not that the other kit can't get the job done. It's that the manufacturer wants to sell you that kit.
Oh, see, that's
what it's about.
That's a conversation for another day.
So, but
it's getting deep, Doc.
And there's nothing wrong with that. The manufacturer is not doing anything wrong. They are marketing their product, and their product is good. It's great. But you have to understand what your purpose is.
And you have to understand what your wallet is and how much it weighs on the inside.
Because when you start to compare and you weigh the thing.
Go ahead and call it.
It is Sunday, isn't it, Bishop?
Call it.
We actually did just come from church.
You see me in my button up in my dad hat.
Yeah, I actually wear T-shirts to church. But
both shot.
My God. But when
as suspected, the camera did cut off, but we cut it back on, so that was for the jump cut. But I was just saying,
as you're trying to figure out what you're gonna play, and you let what's in your pocket, how much money you have, inform you. Man, I can't even talk. What's going on?
Wait, you did the clap like we was finna do a real live lesson. Like you clap in between takes and then we move.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
nah, it's all good.
What's going on, good people? It's Jump for Friday.
It's a mess.
Today we're learning woo-woo woo. And so on. That's what you just clapped.
Hey, man, you got to do it sometimes.
We're leaving it all in there, bro.
Hey, it's all good. I'm not tripping. At the end of the day,
check your wallet.
You got to let it inform your decision because you don't want to be out here wilding, trying to keep up with the Joneses as if it matters. Like, you can have a great sound. Listen, I've had like $10 snares. Okay, it wasn't $10, but you get the point. And had one of the homies come over and tune it or put a drum head on it, and it smacked better than the custom whatever that you just bought that's all brass with gold nickels all across the sides. I don't know, whatever that they did to make it look special, or the sparkling paint finish, as if that has something to do with the sound of the kit.
What I will say for cheaper snares, I do know the thinner drum heads work, so single plies work. The only downside is single plies break easier than double ply. But if you got a cheap snare and you're like, man, my snare don't smack like that, get the thinnest head possible, and of course, crank it. You know what I mean? And then you'll hear like, oh, wow, it actually does smack. But don't bury your stick into the drum head so it doesn't bust.
Or else it's over, Brody.
It's a wrap.
It's a Rap City to basement. Big Tigger and everything. Shout out to everybody who remembers Rap City to basement.
I don't even know where to go from.
Shout out to everybody who remembers Rap City to basement.
Hopefully that conclusion, I hope y'all got it. I hope the conclusion was in detail enough.
Don't be out here trying to keep up with the Joneses, man. Get you a kit that sounds good that you can afford. Experiment with the drum heads and your tuning to maximize the sounds. Actually find out the potential of that drum kit before you move on to another one.
Well, that's it, good people. That's it for this podcast. Like, comment, share.
Share.
Subscribe.
I thought I'm not the only one.
Subscribe. Share. We're going to skip right past it, bro. Like
share.
Share. Hashtag all the way through. Obviously, this one, it went a little longer because the camera cut off.
And we had to get back on so we could share.
Yeah, man. My bad. Subscribe. What else we got to say before we go?
I don't know why that's so funny, man.
Follow us on Instagram.
Oh, my
Drum
goodness.
Coaches, DrumTrax app.
Please, like, share.
Share. Leave a comment.
Hashtag all the way through.
Ask questions. I said that already.
Oh, well, I'm just throwing it out there again. My bad. I didn't hear you when you were sharing that.
Hey, bro. You, okay? You. I can't say that word.
Oh, I needed that, bro. Thank you.
That's it.
I appreciate you for sharing that.
Brody. Peace. I'm done. I am done. Thank you for